Hey guys, I'm back for a quick update on Tom Keesee. I told you in the last update that I had that I would be doing these periodically as we move closer to that July 1st date. A couple of people reached out to me because they were likely looking at the docket. I have it up right now, and it is the court view docket. Anybody can get onto it. It's a public record, and it is, in case you're looking for the case number, it's 25 CR04-0067. It's State of Ohio versus Keesee Jr. Gary Thomas. So it's Gary Thomas Keesee. He is known by Tom Keesee. If you're new and you're wondering, what am I doing here? I am talking about this criminal case in Ohio against Tom Keesee, who is the son of Gary and Brenda Keesee, who are the co-founders of Faith Life Church in New Albany, Ohio. And Tom Keesee worked there, and he worked with children, and he has been accused of essaying children, 4 different female children, one including his daughter. This is a big deal, guys, and if you've been following me, you know I've been watching this quite closely. So let's just talk about what we see on the docket today. So the last time I did an update, it related to, there was a subpoena filed by the Licking County prosecutor on June 11th. So that would have been last Wednesday. And I suspect that this might be an expert for the prosecutor, because when I looked up the woman that is being subpoenaed, she has been deemed an expert in the state of Ohio for that purpose of trauma counseling, mental health counseling with victims, and child victims in particular. So since that time, let me get my glasses on. Since that time, on June 13th, that was Friday, there was a motion to quash subpoena. So when you see a motion to quash, just think squash or get rid of it or pound it. They're trying to move to dispose of this subpoena, and that was filed by attorney Jenny Wells, who is the prosecutor. So it doesn't say who that subpoena was issued to, so as to say who it was being subpoenaed to bring that person in as a witness, but there was a motion to quash the subpoena. There are different reasons to quash, and it could be because the person it's not relevant, but typically that wouldn't be the strongest argument. But it could be that service wasn't proper. It could be that it's harassment. The person isn't really a relevant party, doesn't know, or witness wouldn't have the appropriate personal knowledge or information. There could be a bunch of reasons for that. I'm just speculating. I'm just giving you perhaps some reasons. Then that same day, there was a notice exhibit, motion to quash. So there was an exhibit that was attached to that motion, which would probably, it just makes up that motion and the substance of it. So it was filed that same day. Then today, June 16th, there are 7 entries. Let's go through those. All right. So June 16th, there's a notice of appearance of counsel, and the attorney's name is Darcy T. Cook. I looked her up, and she is a prosecutor. She's a state prosecutor, but in Fairfield County. And as you know, the prosecutor who is prosecuting Tom Keesee is in Licking County. So not sure what is going on. Does it appear that they're bringing in a prosecutor from a different county? Yeah, it does. All right, and then also on June 16th, there's an entry that says no service of subpoena for Polly Patton by Licking County Sheriff. And then there's also an entry that correlates to that. It reads prosecuting attorney notified no service of subpoena. So that relates to the subpoena that was issued for Polly Patton. If you might remember, in another update I did on June 3rd, there's an entry and it had the subpoenas filed and issued by the prosecutor, and Polly Patton was on there. And my understanding is that she is the 4th child of Brenda and Gary. So she is a sister of Tom, as well as Kirsten, who happens to be one of the victims. And so no service means that they could not serve her with the subpoena, and they returned that notice saying that they were unsuccessful in serving her. Don't know why. All of this stuff is going to be, we'll find out at some point, you know, when we're at the trial, or if there's any kind of preliminary hearing in regard to evidentiary issues or dealing with subpoenas and that. Another entry. Okay, so this one reads that there is a telephonic pretrial scheduled for June 25th at 10:30 a.m. So obviously, if it's telephonic, that means the parties are going to attend telephonically with the judge. It's a pretrial. A pretrial conference, it's where you discuss certain issues, we can call it a status conference or a pretrial. And here, because they are so close to jury trial, they're probably going to address issues that they're coming up against. You know, this no service of process for one of the witnesses. There was an issue with Tom's attorney. He said something about not getting discovery timely from the prosecutor. All kinds of things could be brought up at that time. As I shared previously, I thought that we would see a motion to continue that hearing, but we still haven't seen it. And so also filed today, it says hearing assignment and case schedule. So there's nothing to click on. There's no PDF. You know, that's what I'm used to seeing, but we're public, so we can't see it. We're not a party to the case. So if there is a hearing assignment case schedule, it could possibly reschedule that jury trial, and we just don't know it sitting here. I don't know. And then the last entry from today is that there is a notice filed by attorney Jenny Wells that says that the state of Ohio has provided supplemental discovery to counsel for the defendant. So again, another discovery notice was filed, and that's probably like, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6. We might be at 5 or 6 at this point. And what that relates to is discovery that they are required, that the state is required to provide to defense per the discovery rules, so that they can prepare appropriately for the jury trial that's coming up. So what does all this mean? Well, we know that something's happening with Polly Patton. They could not serve her, and we're going to see, we're not going to have any way to be a part of it. Media is not going to be able to be a part of it. I think it's next Wednesday, June 25th, there is a hearing, and that's in less than a week from the date of the jury trial. That's supposed to start on July 1st. And I just think I still am of the opinion that it's not going to go to trial on July 1st. We don't have a clear picture of what's going on exactly right now, but I just don't think that it's going to go to trial on that date. Now, hang on, let me do this, because I'm going to just use this time to update you on something else out of Ohio. And you guys, what is going on in Ohio? You've got Rod Parsley's church, you've got Faith Life Church, and then on June 14th, Julie Roy's, the Roy's Report, they have an article by Sheila Stogstill on June 14th, which would have been Saturday, and it says, Ohio pastor accused of sexually abusing children, now serving at a new church. So this Ohio pastor is accused of sexually abusing 2 children in his care, and he's serving at another church where his new congregation believes in his innocence. He was indicted on June 5th. He's 39 years old. His name is Dominic Foor, F-O-O-R, and he was indicted in Pickaway County, Ohio, Common Pleas Court, with 11 counts of actual battery, 6 counts of unlawful actual conduct on a minor, and 6 counts of importuning, which Ohio defines importuning as soliciting a child between the age of 13 to 16 for X. You guys can tell what I'm talking about. You know, it's YouTube, so I don't want them to take down the video, so I have to talk like that. So apparently, the alleged abuse was from November 2022 to November 2024, and then May 2024 to November 2024, and the victims are now 16 to 18. So that is interesting. I'm reading this for the first time. I knew about it, but I'm reading it for the first time with you here. That is interesting because if they were 13 to 16 at the time, or even under the age of 13, I mean, that means they're coming out pretty quickly, which is great. Not so great is that he is free on a $250,000 bond. Not sure if it's a 10%. It doesn't say. Ordered to have no contact with the alleged victims. He's not in custody, so I can't look him up. Oh wait, I can. Let me see if I can do that while I'm on here. Fairfield County. No, I don't know what county. Hang on, I'm getting it confused. Pick away. Pick away. County clerk. Let's see if I can do this quickly so that we can see. Oh, this doesn't look the same as the other one. Sorry. I might do that in another one. So let me just get back to this because I just don't have easy access. I'd have to set up an account. Okay, so I tried but was unsuccessful. All right, so until December, I'm assuming December of 2024, he was the pastor of a Columbus-based church called Pathway Apostolic Church, which is part of the United Pentecostal Church. And now he's preaching at a non-denominational church called New Direction, which is 5 miles away. Guys, if you know anybody that's going to this New Direction church that's around Columbus, Ohio, please tell them they need to send him this article. His former supervisor, United Pentecostal Bishop John Palmer, confirmed 4 is not associated with Pathway. So 4 is in the process of divorce proceedings with Palmer's daughter. That's the bishop. Okay, so his wife is named Hannah. She's the daughter of Bishop John Palmer. Hannah accuses 4 of neglect of duty and extreme cruelty. Again, I'm reading this for the first time. So the 4 home life was strict, and the alleged victims asked to live with the 4s, said Nikki Trago, New Direction board member. Allegedly, he baptized every single person in that family and led hundreds of people to Christ. Don't we always hear that? Well, you know, they're doing this over here, but you know, they lead everybody to Christ here. So are we supposed to just like throw that away of what they did? Oh gosh, every single person in our church believes 4 is a man of God. You guys, this is scary. There's a picture of this church. It looks pretty small. No, that's the Pathway Apostolic Church. The one he's at now is New Direction. So Trago said that 2 alleged victims were placed with 4 and his estranged wife after their biological father asked them to take care of the children when he was on his deathbed. And the 2 teens had been in and out of foster homes. And they also accused a family member and a family friend of SA to get Child Protective Services to remove them from the relative's home, she claimed. Okay. 2 teens. If these are the same 2 teens, which I'm suspecting it is, they had been in and out of foster homes and accused a family member and a family friend of SA. It kind of intimates that they accused in order to get them removed. But why would they want to get removed unless something was going on? Oh, it goes on to say they were both cleared of any wrongdoing. Okay, good. And the family is expected to testify against the false allegation, Chago said. I'm assuming when they say both were cleared, it means the two teens, so that they were not up to something. Okay, she added that there was no evidence of SA on the two teens, and that 4's DNA was not found on the SA kits. Interesting that they would have those kits. This one is going to be something to watch. I will get into this. I'm going to look into this when I have a minute. It reads that 4 has a criminal history, including guilty pleas for drug possession in 2010, robbery, drugs, and weapons in 2005, which was 20 years ago, and a 2003 burglary conviction. So this is very disturbing in that he has these pending charges and he's still pastoring at this New Direction church. So, all right, heads up, I will look into this and probably do a video sometime soon on that. In the meantime, as it relates to Tom Keesee, I have a feeling that there's going to be more docket entries even before June 25th. There's a lot of activity today, and I suspected that it would increase, as I said in the last update. When it gets closer to trial, there's usually a flurry of pleadings that are filed, or notices, or what have you. So if there's anything that's substantive, you know, I don't want to just do it every time there's just one. If there's a couple of things that are going on, I will update you at that time. So I hope everybody's doing well, and see you soon.